He was driving along minding his own business. To fighter jets, he said in between expletives. The Ukrainians are shooting, and it was inside Russia today. The local authorities were helping civilians to flee. Several small towns in Russia's Kursk region, seen so familiar in Ukraine, now echoed across the border after an unprecedented large-scale Ukrainian incursion. It fell to the regional acting governor to inform President Putin of the latest developments today. First of all, having assessed the situation, we began to evacuate people. This was a rather difficult problem because the Ukrainian armed forces, sabotage and reconnaissance were shelling the civilian population and ambulances. Yesterday's surrender of Russian troops to Ukrainian forces may have angered President Putin even more, as it reveals that the Russians were taken by surprise. After a series of recent successes inside Ukraine, they were not expecting an attack within their own borders. She might just jump. Everyone can see that the Ukrainian army knows how to use surprise and knows how to achieve results. This is demonstrated on the battlefield, where our soldiers not only withstood the overwhelming force of the occupiers, but also are destroying it in order to protect Ukraine, our state and independence. In their summer offensive, Russian forces have taken new tracts of Ukrainian territory, reversing previous Ukrainian gains. They're now advancing on the garrison towns of Turtsk and Pokrovsk. But the Ukrainian incursion into the Kursk region of Russia at Nikolaevo-Dorinho has forced Russian troops since Sverdlovskovo and Sudya onto the defensive. The Russians have released footage they say shows the targeting of Ukrainian armored vehicles. Some analysts say crossing the border is a mistake because the Ukrainians need all their manpower to defend their own territory, but others see strategic advantage. Now this one operation by the Ukrainians will have to change the way the Russians view their entire border. Defense there can't have these no-defended areas, or weakly defended areas anymore. That will lead to a huge strategic change. The Russian-Ukrainian border is very long, and if the Russians are actually going to have to defend a lot that will require a significant allocation of force. Today, the town of Suya was burning. It's not clear where the countries that back Ukraine approved this maneuver until now. The Americans discouraged the Ukrainians from crossing the border, especially with U.S. weaponry, for fear of justifying Putin's assertion that this is a war between Russia and the West. But desperate times call for desperate measures.